We're going to talk about painting and how to bring painting into your classroom. Painting goes way back, 100,000 years ago. Some of the earliest known cave paintings were found in France. Here's an image to your right of a cave painting in France. Some common themes in cave paintings are large wild animals like bison and horses. There are also traces of human hands and abstract patterns within old cave paintings. They weren't made out of your typical paint. They were drawn with yellow and red, ochre, and charcoal. Now, why were these paintings originally made? This has been a topic of dispute for a long time. There have been researchers who have suggested that a shaman would retreat into the darkness of the cave, enter a trance-like state of mind, and then paint images of his visions onto the wall, and he would try to draw out a power from within the cave. So there are religious and ceremonial suggestions about cave paintings. There's also the idea that the cavemen made these paintings to communicate with others. This leads us to the question, does a human being have a natural inclination to create and paint just for the sake of doing so? Why do we paint? Here I've provided several quotes from famous artists. The explanations and viewpoints range from Picasso's idea that painting is a way of keeping a diary to Warhol's mechanical and productive viewpoint of the painting process. Henri explains in the middle that painting just provides him with the source of happiness. Here is a map of some of the many reasons I have come up with for why people have painted over the years: to communicate, to decorate their habitat, to express themselves, to feel good, to capture an image or a feeling in time, and to create. In the classroom, the most popular form of paint used is tempera paint. Tempera paint is permanent and very long-lasting. On the right, you see a Madonna and Child painted in the 13th century that was actually painted out of tempera paint and has obviously held strong. Another reason why tempera in the classroom is a good idea is because it dries so quickly and it's easy for kids to work with. Another reason is that it's so inexpensive. Now, the first painting technique we will discuss is one of the most basic painting skills, blending. Blending is a good idea to introduce to students at a young age. Now, to do a blending demonstration, first arrange primary colors in a circle around white, red, blue, and yellow. Second, dip your paintbrush into the water jar and pick up some of the blue paint and streak it across the page. After you've done this, dip your brush into white and overlap the blue streak. Show students that by adding white, this is how you can lighten up a color. Now next, you can show students how to change colors. Dip your paintbrush into a yellow and mix that with the streak of blue you just created. This will show that blue and yellow make green. Be sure to continue cleaning out your paintbrush in between mixing colors to show students how important it is to keep your brush clean and not to get your colors mixed up. So number 5, you can teach students how to make orange by mixing yellow and red together. And 6, create purple by mixing blue and red together. Now here's a lesson plan that I actually helped out with in elementary school. Students used Monet as their artist, and they were shown a picture of a lily pond or a Monet painting, and Monet worked really fast on his paintings because he worked by sunlight. So here students work really fast, blending colors and learning how to blend them on their page. Here's technique number 2, which works really well with older students. I prefer middle schoolers for the sponging. Now, obviously, you're going to need a sponge. The first step is divide your colors into warm and cool. Choose what type of sponging technique choose what color you want to use for your sponging technique. Here we're going to use cool, so put out blue, yellow, and white. 2, dip your brush briefly, just touching the top parts of your sponge into blue, and make an imprint onto your paper. It's going to look like this. 3, dip your sponge into yellow and overlap the blue. You can also dip your sponge into white to carry out the colors. You're going to start to get a 3D looking textured surface with this. Four, continue making imprints with your cool colors. You should start to get an overall sort of green look. Now, this is what you do on day one. You're going to take these textured 3D paintings that look pretty abstract and put them on the drying rack. On the second day of this lesson, you take out the paintings, which will be dry. You show students how to draw carefully over top of their textured paper. Here we have a picture of an octopus that I drew. Now 6, you're going to paint in within the lines that you've created. You can make this lesson a 3, a 4, even a 5-day lesson by adding more and more detail to your illustration. The end product should look like part of the background blended into the sponging to give it a cool 3D sort of effect. Here's a list of painting tips I've come up with for your classroom. It's important for you to review your procedures before painting, telling students that it's important that they keep the paint to themselves. Good luck with the painting process, and I hope you have a great experience.